What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing the full breakdown and playthrough of the brand new COLISEUM TOMAGO. Now, I know some people are going to call him Niwatori because that's what he's named, but I'm going to just call him COLISEUM TOMAGO just for the sake of it being much easier to say than Niwatori all the time. Anyways, COLISEUM TOMAGO is pretty freaking annoying. His COLISEUM is very annoying in the fact that it does have a lot of barriers, and the fact that on the final stage you have an orb barrier that can be randomized to be any single orb in the entire game. So it's extremely annoying to actually deal with it, and I think a lot of people are going to struggle specifically with this COLISEUM. In this video I do have 3 separate teams that will take on the final stage, and I'll be uploading a video probably tomorrow discussing the brand new ambush quest, Sengoku. I do have a team that has beaten it, but I want to see if I can come up with another team that is able to beat it, just a little bit differently compared to the one that I do have. So anyways, let's actually talk about this brand new character, which is COLISEUM TOMAGO. This character is a Psy Striker Slasher character, and you can see at max level 99 with his limit break, 2692 HP, 1452 attack, and 384 recovery, so pretty stock standard. His captain effect is going to boost both Striker and Slasher characters' attack by 2.75 when slots match and 2.25 times otherwise, and also reduce damage taken by 7%. The damage reduction is quite nice, however, the attack multiplier itself is not really the greatest, so you wouldn't be using this character as a captain really that often. But his special ability is the main reason why he is as good as what he is. So his special ability will max out at 12 turns with his limit break, so he needs 14 skill ups, and it's a very lengthy special ability. So first of all, it does 120 times his attack in typeless damage to a single enemy that ignores all defensive effects. So that is amazing straight off the bat, that he's able to deal damage to the enemy, a very substantial amount of damage, through the barrier, which is great. And then it also states changes empty slots to character's own type. And it says if your captain slot is recovery or tandem, adds 45 times his attack in typeless damage on top of tap timing bonuses for 2 turns. And then it goes on further to say changes recovery and tandem slots to character's own type as well. However, there is a separate effect that states if the captain's slot is a colored orb or a type slot, changes top row character slots into recovery, and then boost the recovery of your crew by 1.5 times for 2 turns, and reduce damage taken by 60% for 2 turns. Now, the reason why the special is actually structured this way is because this character has the double special activation when you go ahead and max this out, meaning that you can get all of these effects activated when you activate the special twice in 1 turn. So this character can provide some really awesome boosts for your crew, not only dealing damage to the enemy, and that's a pretty substantial amount of damage that goes through barriers and other defensive effects, but just to top it all off, you get tap timing bonus, you get damage reduction, and a recovery boost as well, and all of that is for 2 turns. So this character, I feel, is probably not essential for clearing a lot of content, but he's going to be a nice character to have, and whenever you do need a character, that can take down characters with barriers much easier, this is going to be a character to help you do that. I believe Raid Judge is coming sometime in April, and I believe this character is going to be actually pretty useful for taking on that particular raid, as there's going to be like a couple of mob characters with orb barriers, so I think this character is going to be very useful for that. But outside of very specific content, he's not going to be a character you're going to use all the time, but sometimes you are going to find some niche content where he's going to be really cool. Additionally, he also has a critical hit chance as well with his potential ability, and for his crewmate abilities, he boosts the attack of Striker and Slashers by 50, and also makes the character's int slot have matching slot effects, so he'll never have a negative orb other than obviously a block orb. But overall, this character's a pretty interesting one. I don't think he's essential to farm, but I think that if you can farm it, I would highly suggest doing so. Obviously, he's going to be a trusty character in the upcoming treasure map. But anyways, now that we've fully discussed the character, let's go ahead and talk about the dungeons itself. So round number 1 is going to be against Peckham's. So on stage number 4, before Peckham's, you have to take on Sanji. Sanji has 2.8 million health, attacks every turn for 6,000, and after the first turn, he actually buffs his own attack up to 9,000. And when you actually take down Sanji, he's going to do a 50% health cut to your crew, as well as give you a 4-turn burn. However, with preemptives and when you move on to the next room, it actually goes down to a 2-turn burn. And every time you hit a perfect while this burn is active, you actually get taken with 3,000 damage. So I would ideally suggest to take down Peckham's in 1 turn, so you do not have to deal with that burn damage, which is going to be quite hefty. But Peckham's himself has 3.2 million health, attacks every turn for 7,800, and he has a 2-turn 3-tap perfect barrier. And also your captains will be unable to use their specials with a 50-turn full special bind, and also after the first turn of attacks, your middle right unit will be blown away. So for round number 2 is going to be against TOMAGO, but on stage 4 we have a Pedro mini boss. He has 2.2 million health and attacks every 2 turns for 9,600 damage, and his preemptive attack will rewind your captain's special abilities by 1 turn, and after the first turn of attacks, if he's still alive, he applies a 5-turn despair to your crew. And also upon killing Pedro, he makes all of your orbs into block orbs and does a pretty significant death hit. Now on this side banner here it says 8k damage, but it's actually not 8,000 damage. He actually does a significant portion of your health. I'm not too sure if it's a health cut or if it's an actual damage, so I would suggest, you know, be very, very careful for that. TOMAGO himself, though, he has 3.5 million health, attacks every turn for 8,400 damage, and also has a 7-turn defense up, as well as applying a 7-turn 1.1 times chain lock to your crew. Also, when he's below 30%, he will go ahead and apply a 4-turn damage threshold, so suggested to not get him below 30% and take him down from there. So now we finally get to the final round, which is against TOMAGO, of course, or Niwatori, however you guys want to say it. So here we are on stage 3. Now, stage 3, Peckham's has 1.8 million health, and he attacks every turn for 6,400. He has a preemptive attack of a 5-turn 3-tap perfect barrier, as well as blowing away your middle right unit for 3 turns, and every single turn he's going to be giving you int orbs, and he also makes perfects harder to hit for 5 turns, so it is going to be a little bit difficult to actually break through his barrier, you know, just naturally because of that little debuff. However, it's not really too hard to hit your perfects through that minor debuff there. Also, if you have a ship that grants perfects easier to hit, it does help you out slightly, but Peckham's isn't really the main problem here. After you defeat Peckham's, though, you're going to be moving on to stage 4, which is going to be a mini boss TOMAGO. Now, TOMAGO on the stage 4, he has 2.3 million health, and he will have an attack value of 7,200. He has a preemptive attack of applying a 4-turn defense up, and that's pretty significant defense up as well. He also has a 99-turn delay protector, and he randomizes your crew's orbs, which can include G and bomb orbs. And then after the 4th turn, if he's still alive, he actually will apply a damage threshold, and then under 50%, he's going to deal a 50% health cut to your crew, as well as dealing damage to you. Now, the final boss, TOMAGO, is what a lot of people are going to be struggling with here. Now, he has 6.5 million health, and he attacks every turn for 9,800 damage. He starts off at half of his health, so he only has 3.25 million upon entering the room, but he does revive, of course. Now, he does have a 4-turn Bind and Despair for both captains when you enter the room, and also he applies a 10-turn slot barrier. So any type orb in the game can be considered for one of his barriers. So you can enter the room one time and it could be a dex barrier. Next time you enter the room, it could be an int barrier. You just really do not know, and that's one of the main troubles with this specific Coliseum, is you have to basically have a team that can counter every single type of orb barrier, which is extremely annoying to deal with. Also, he has a debuff protector as well, so you can't delay him, you can't reduce his defense, and you cannot poison him. But as I said, when you get him to 0% or to 0 health, he will fully revive 5 back up to the 6.5 million HP. He also will go ahead and apply a 5-turn damage threshold, and I forgot to put it on this banner here as well, but he actually becomes a Dex character. So he goes from Psi into Dex, so obviously Big Mom, as you're seeing in this clip here, is going to decimate it. And also, after the revive, after that first turn, he's going to deal 45,000 damage to your team. So either have a damage reducing effect or have some sort of way to kill him on that first turn, so you do not have to deal with that 45,000 damage. Now, he does have an interrupt. Now, from my experience through playing against this Colosseum, when he activates this interrupt, he only activates it when his HP is above 50%. Where it says if you use any type of orb boost, he's going to remove all your positive buffs and also randomize your orbs, which can include block orbs. Now, it's weird though, because I did use, and you guys are going to be seeing in this specific example coming up, there's going to be the Akano team here, and there's going to be the Whitebeard Marco team. For the Whitebeard Marco team, I used the Colosseum Neptune after using all my health cuts to get him below 50%, and then he won't actually activate the slot boosting effect interrupt, which is really useful to know. Now, something to note about this team here with the V2 Akano team, it's very, very hard to beat this Colosseum if the barrier that TOMAGO gets on stage 5 is an int barrier, because the attack timing can be quite harsh, and it's really difficult to make sure that you can get your attacks in the right order for the amount of overkill that you are required to get for V2 Doflamingo special ability. But this team will completely destroy every single version of Colosseum TOMAGO that isn't an int barrier. If it is an int barrier, then it can be quite troublesome trying to get your tap timings correct. And as I mentioned before, the other team you guys are going to be seeing in this video is a Whitebeard and Marco team, and that's also the team that I do use to beat the Ambush Sengoku. And I will probably have a video out for Ambush Sengoku sometime tomorrow. I'll see if I can formulate another team for you guys that I can actually beat the actual Ambush Sengoku with. But yeah, Ambush Sengoku is very hard, especially straight after Colosseum TOMAGO. It is very, very tricky right now on Global. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with these clips here. As I said before, we've got version 2 Akano and a Whitebeard Marco team coming right up. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. And if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.
진리 나